What is going on, Buckeye Nation? This is another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks coming back with you. Hey, it's the night before the game that everybody's been waiting for, the most anticipated game of the year. The Ohio State versus the Michigan Wolverines, the team up north. This is going to be a battle, man. I'm excited to dive into this, man. Before we get started, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. Now let's get to it, man. Uh, man, I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous. I'm ready. It's gonna be an exciting game. It's gonna be a war, man. And the Wolverines, they coming in here, man, after having a little bit of a scare last week against Maryland. Their focus is going to be dialed in, man. This is the game. Everybody plays their best in these type of games. These are where uh great players play great against Michigan, man. It's the truth. These are where worst breakout stars are born. It's this game tomorrow at 11 a.m., man, my time. Um, it's gonna be a battle, man. The quarterbacks, break down the quarterbacks. We have JJ McCarthy. Uh, last couple of games, he's been off and on a little bit. I think they said he got hurt against Penn State, which Penn State is a really solid, really good defense. So it's no uh you know nothing wrong with struggling against a good defense. Uh, but was something that he didn't complete a pass in the second half, and I don't even think they attempted to throw the second half against Penn State, and then against Maryland, he finally threw an interception, I believe, in the red zone against Maryland, and he was still a little off a little bit. But one thing about JJ, man, he's a great athlete, man. That dude, he scares me with his legs more than his arm. Like seriously, like I do not want him to get him outside the pocket making plays with his feet because he is a gamer, man. I got a lot of respect for McCarthy. He's just a gamer. I know I've been talking about this on my channel. Just some people are just gamers. It don't matter how they played the week before. When the stakes are high, they play their best, man. And I believe that's what JJ is gonna do tomorrow. I think he's gonna be very good. Kyle McCord doesn't have to be an all-American type. He just has to control the game, don't make no mistakes. And when it's opportunities to make the throws, don't be scared and sling it, man. Kyle McCord, he had an okay game against Minnesota. He had a better day against Michigan State, against Minnesota. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. But I believe that he will play. I think he's gonna play good. I think he's gonna step up to the challenge. Excuse me. And I think he's gonna have a good game, man. But like I said, he doesn't have to go tit for tat. He just can't make the big mistake, and he gotta be able to push the ball downfield when they give us the chance because they're gonna blitz at times, and that's when we gotta beat him. He has to find his playmakers and be accurate with his throwing. He just has to become a gamer, right? He has to become a gamer. I think this is a big game for Kyle McCord because uh not only is it we're trying to, defeat a team that's beat us the last couple years, scandal or no scandal, uh he's undefeated right now, but through the season, you can't really look and be like, oh, he's for sure the starter next year because he's playing out of his mind. Like you knew CJ coming back his junior to senior year, or I mean his sophomore, redshirt sophomore to when he was a junior, you knew like nobody's gonna take this guy's spot. He's like that good. I haven't seen that for Kyle McCord. But if he goes out and beat Michigan and puts on a good performance, that's something that he can solidify to bring it in next year that he has a spot on lock. To me personally, I think has to be his best game. He has to be better than he was against Penn State, and he has struggles at times. He has to be magnificent in the red zone because this game is going to come down who can score touchdowns in the red zone. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I think they're going to make some plays. We're going to make some plays, but we have to score when we get to the red zone. No, field goals. We have to continue to put the pressure on them. I would love for us to get up and let them play from behind. Not saying they can't, but they're more of a control the clock no matter what Michigan says. And JJ is a generational quarterback. They're still a run first team who likes to milk the clock and control you up front. We saw that against Penn State. We saw that a little bit against against Maryland. That's just who they are. That's their identity. And if you get them behind, kind of like what TCU did, You saw how that played out when you gotta throw yourself out of the hole. You know what I mean? That's not their strong suit. Now they completed they made a run for it, but that's not their strong suit. Their strong suit is to play great defense, control the ball, control the clock. That's Jim Harbaugh team. Even when he was with San Francisco, that's just how they're built. I would love for us to get going and get the lead. Let them play from behind a little bit, but Kyle McCord has to be special in the red zone. I think that's the key that I'm looking at when we get down to that 25, 35, 30-yard line. Can we make enough plays and punch it in? Can we 5 yards, third and five, third and two, third and one, or third and goal, anything of that nature? Can we punch it in? They're good on the fourth down. I've been watching Michigan this year, the little times that I did, and a team would be on the Michigan 35 and it'd be like 4th and 1 and they stop them it's like every time they stop them, man. It's like they're good at getting off blocks. Like we have to be ready for that. But quarterback play, Campbell Core, like I said, he doesn't have to go tit for tat for JJ. He has to play within himself and make key throws and don't be scared to throw it downfield. And if you can pick up a few yards here, and I know he got his knee banged up on a bad call, but he has to be a gamer, man. This is technically this is it, man. We win this, this is like a historical matchup, like a historical like landmark type game, man, for this program. Like I said, I've been an Ohio State fan all my life. I can definitely go that game in '05 was I remember watching it as a kid, like, man, that was amazing. Troy Smith scrambled and threw it to Anthony Gonzalez. I couldn't believe it. And then the next year, 1 versus 2, in history, it seemed like at least in the 2000s, we've been on that side of these wins, whereas big time, even with Urban 2018, 2000 2016, the overtime with Curtis Samuel, like we've been on the better side of these matchups. The last couple of years we haven't, right? We need this to get to the playoffs, or we need this to get to the Big Ten championship, and we haven't been on this other side. So this is the turning point, you know what I mean? Especially with everything happening next year. But um, so that's my quarterback breakdown. Running backs, uh, they have a two-headed monster, man. Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, they're scary, right? They are great, man. Donovan Edwards is a home run hitter, and we have to get him down. We have to hit him hard. We have to be physical to the point of attack. That's why I miss Lathan Ransom, man. He's a tone setter, and Blake Corum is so small, so compact and powerful. He's a handful, man. So we got our work cut out. Tommy, Steele, Cody Simon, the corners, they have to be hands on deck, man, because they're good at bouncing, they're good at finding creases. We have to be gap sound. Like this is where it's going to be. And I thought the first half last year we did a tremendous job on against the run. I really do. It wasn't the run that killed us early on in the first half. It was really the pass plays that they completed. We didn't get people down when we needed to. Can we duplicate that the whole game? I don't know, but I do think we have a lot of promise, and I do think we have a lot of guys who are battle tested. So we'll see what happens. On the flip side, Travion Henderson, he looks fresh. He looks great. This is it. Like this is it. You're a 5-star. You're a junior. No injuries. Um, these are the type of games that stars are born. I've been so critical on Trayvon Henderson. Not saying that he's not good, but he just hasn't shown that star quality. That this is why he was a 5-star. This is why he was a can't miss back. This is why he was on Ohio State. This is why we went out to go get him. This is the game to prove it, man. You're going against two dominant backs who technically, at least Blake Corum, he's older, but you and Donovan Edwards in the same class, and I wouldn't say you guys. I think you guys are season like as juniors, y'all both probably like back and forth. I don't think Donovan Edwards is that much better than Travion, or Travion is that much better than Donovan Edwards. But this is the game to show, man. You were number one back in that class for a reason. Uh, so this is it, man. I expect him to. I think we should run him, and run him, and run him some more. Him and Chip and Dallin, like we gotta go, man. This is all hands on deck, and I think This is the opportunity to show his speed. He's explosive, and this is it, man. This is it for him, in my opinion, uh, to show what he's made out of, man. And I think he's gonna do it. I really do. Receivers, they have to be. Everybody has to be special. I know I use that word like so frequently, but everybody has to be special tomorrow. We got to make tough catches. We got to make contested catches. We got to in traffic. We got to get. We got to be physical. We got to try to take it every time we touch it. Take it to the distance, like a Mecca, Marv, uh, Stover, because they got good tight ends too. Like we have to be special tomorrow. Blocking, Julian Fleming, Carnell Tate. Like this is it. Xavier Johnson. Like this is it. Right. This is it. Like they don't have a player like Marv, like Penn State. Get it to him as much as we can, quick as we can, as frequent as we can. Get it in his hands. That's how I feel. Get it in his hands. I don't want Ryan Day, I think sometimes overthink. I think he overthought himself last year and he played tight, but no more using him as a decoy. Get it in his hands. Like, right? Get it in his hands as much as we can. Um, and give it to Emeka Ibuka as much as we can. Like those two have to carry the load, man. They really do. And when it's there, that's when you throw a Julian Fleming in there or a Carnell Tate or a K Stover when they need that play out of nowhere. But to get the offense started, it has to be through Marvin Omeka and not screen passes, not get it down the field. And I'm expecting to have a big day. Receivers on Michigan, Roman Wilson, he's a good slot guy. He is a pro talent. He's not a big guy, but he's a guy who's shifty, fast, is really good in the slot, really good at get on top of your safeties and going long. And we've been really good at not letting explosive plays go, but this is a different challenge. So we have to be prepared for this. Cornelius Johnson, he's another guy who's, they're pro type players. Sorry, they're pro type players, but they're not like Marvin Harrison or Mecca Buka, but they good at what they do. They can get on the safeties. They have their smaller, shiftier guys who can make the safety turn their hips, and JJ's good at finding them. We have to prevent them from going deep. We have to keep everything in front of us and make plays on the ball. Secondary, they have to be really good tomorrow, man. Not only with the run fitting, but not getting so sucked up with the play action pass, not letting Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson or any other receivers that they might have. Those are the two ones that to me have made the most. They have a freshman who's been pretty good though. But those two are the ones that they're gonna make the most plays and the ones that the Michigan quarterback JJ is gonna probably rely on the most in a game like this. So we just have to be ready and prepared. Like I said, I don't think they have the receiver talent as we have, but that doesn't mean anything because Cornelius Johnson looked like an All-American last year in the game. You know what I mean? So and Roman Wilson is a good player. He's a very good player. So they're gonna try to beat us over the top a few occasions on those big play action passes or those deep crossing routes. We just have to make sure we apply the pressure. And if the route is designed to take that long, we have to apply the pressure that we need to be and get home. And our secondary just has to hold up like it's been the whole season. Don't change now because the stakes are higher. Continue being physical to the point of attack and keeping everything in front of us. And I think we'll do a good job of that. Uh, offensive line, Michigan, they last 2 years, the offensive line has been amazing. Um, but I do think this year it's a step back. It's still really good, as we saw against Penn State. They are still really good and really talented, but I do think they have some quote unquote liabilities. But this is the game, man. So everybody's gonna play their best. Like we have to force them to have the liabilities, like Penn State did. Their left, I think it was their right tackle. He struggled. So JT, they have to be special, man. Like these why you are 5 stars. It's not what you do in high school. Is when you are match talent for talent game. You have to great players play great in big games. That's just how it is. Santonio Moss said it best. great great players make plays when it matters the most, man. He said something like that. I might have messed his quote up, but y'all get the gist. They have to be special, man. They have to be special. Our ends got to be good. Our D tackles got to be special, and we gotta make it difficult for JJ, or it's gonna be a long night for especially their a long day, especially their offensive line. Like I said, they're good, but they're not as talented as they were the last sorry couple years. So we just have to stay. Uh, we have to make it difficult for the offensive line. On the flip side of the Buckeyes, they're the most improved unit, I believe, on the team, and they've been playing really good football. This is a different challenge, though, right? Their Michigan front seven is the real deal. It's every bit of Georgia, every bit of Bama. Maybe not as big and athletic, but they have some studs on there, man, and they're fast, they're physical. They play really good with their hands to the point of attack. They stand you up, and my we have to we have to be able to run when they're playing two high safeties like we did against Rutgers. We have to be able to run. We have to be able to move the sticks. If they're able to hold us with two high safeties like they kind of did last year and we get away from the run, it's gonna be a long day. We can't they has to stay on it. Trust the offensive line. They're gonna have some stalemates. They're gonna get us at times, but we have to stay with it because that's what they did last year. They played two high safeties, and we got away from the run when we was running on them in the first half, and it was like, okay, we got y'all where y'all want them. We got one dimensional. A good team, you can't be one dimensional. Like I said, we have to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and run it some more. Get the pressure off of Kyle McCord, get the pressure off, and make that offensive line move, man. Get them boys tired too. Run some tempo. I think we will. I think we will. But our offensive line, they have to be to me, if you watch my videos beginning of the year, I said I'm more worried about the offensive line than anything, uh, and that is still the case. But uh, I like that they're taking strides to get better. Now this is a different challenge, but they have been I'm sorry making strides. The center and the right tackle scares me, but uh, I do feel like you can win with not a good right tackle. You get what I'm saying? Like if you know offensive line play, and not every right tackle is a lot of great right tackles, but usually the left, that's more of the weaker out of the left tackle. And I hate to say weaker, they're all good, but and I believe our interior is a strong suit, at least our guards. Now, can our center play some football and be an impact this week against Mason Graham and a lot of those studs defensive linemen that they have? I guess we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. But our offensive line, they have to be this has have to be the best game that they've ever played. Any of them, even Donovan Jackson and Matthew Jones. They have to be special. They have to protect Kyle McCord the best way they can because they're gonna come. They have to be blitz pickup stunts. They have to be make Kyle McCord comfortable because they're gonna come with the blitz, and Kyle McCord just has to find his window. So um they just have to be very good. What I mean? Offensive line, they have to be the best that they've ever been in their careers. On the defensive side, Michigan, their defense are studs. But once again, I do think their right corner opposite of Will Johnson. I think he's not, and their ends are not as great. Their opposite corner, and I believe there's one of their safeties is not. I think a couple years they had Daxon. Was it Daxon Hill? He was amazing. I don't think they're as good as those as Daxon Hill, the safety. So, and you saw a little bit of Maryland. Mike Sanders still is really good slot corner, but you saw Maryland kind of pick them apart a little bit. You saw Penn State run a little bit on them. And I believe our line is maybe the same or maybe a little bit better than Penn State. And I saw Maryland pass a little bit against them. So it's opportunities there. We just have to uh uh take advantage of them when we get the opportunities too. On the flip side, the Buckeye defense, we've been really good. Uh, here and there, a little leakage a little bit with the run against Rutgers and a little bit against Notre Dame, but this is gonna be a very complicated run scheme, a lot of gap scheme, a lot of counters. Uh, so we have to be ready for that. We've been battle tested and prepared for this all season long. And you look back and you look at the Notre Dame game, and you look at the Penn State game, and you look at Wisconsin and on the road and being so battle tested. This is the game where it all comes down to it. And I believe our defense is up for the challenge. They have to lead us. They have to take us home. They took us home against Notre Dame. They took us home against Penn State. They have to do it again. It starts with the defense. It's going to end with the defense. Uh, so secondary has to be special. I would love to get two turnovers. Either I would love, but I think if we get two turnovers, we're going to win the game. One would be great, but if we get two, that would be excellent. I would love a couple turnovers this game from our defense. Um, secondary, Iggy has to trust his technique, not overcommit, not be too handsy. Denzel has to once again be ready to operate. Don't let nothing up. Be handsy. Get hands on balls. And our safeties, Sonny and Proctor, they have to be special. They have to come down and fill the holes. They have to be physical to a point of attack, and they can't let nothing go over their head. You know what I mean? Proctor has to break down and make tackles because one miss, and that could be it. You know what I mean? So Sonny has to be Sonny. Proc has to be Proc. And our defense has got to lead us to victory. Be madman out there. Don't take nothing for granted. And I think we'll be all right. Our D line, our front seven. Tommy Steele, like I stated, they have to be very good getting off blocks. Finding Donovan Havers, finding Blake Corum because he's so small and shifty. He's so good at reading his blocks and following his blocks. So we have to be there. You know what I mean? So excuse me. So all in all, man, we gotta throw away anything. We gotta play smart, play physical. And this is a big game, man. This is a huge game for Buckeye Nation. Uh I've I've been a Buckeye fan all my life. And if you I'm in my 30s. So I've had the opportunity to, when it comes to these games, have been on the other side for a long time, like for a very long time. To a point where in 2021, when we finally did lose, it was like, oh shoot, this is how it feels, right? It was like, wow, they finally beat us. It was like such a shock, and it was like, oh, okay, we'll be home next year and we'll be better, and then it was like, oh shoot, it happened again. Like this is serious. Like we have to figure this out. And uh for a long time, I think in my opinion, the coaches, the Ryan Day, I fought him for this. And the coaches, I think we took for granted how dominant we were, and we got complacent with the rivalry because it was just it started to feel like another game. Like they're never going to beat us. I remember in 2018 when I knew for a fact they were going to beat us at home, and Dwayne Haskins went crazy. And I remember telling family like and this is the complacency of a fan too. I remember telling after 2018, like, man, they're never going to beat us. Like the talent that we were coming in, even losing Urban, I was like, dude, they're never going to beat us. That was like their chance to beat us. You know what I mean? Like I thought like that as a fan, like, man, they're never going to beat us. And for them to overcome it, like I said, I believe we got complacent. But uh we have an opportunity to right our wrongs, especially with all the scandal stuff and cheating stuff. How dope would it be to go to Ann Arbor and upset and shock the world again with a Buckeye team that they thought they were gonna go 9-3, 8-4. This was a down year for the Buckeyes, and the opportunity to go back to the Big Ten championship would be huge. Uh, I know for me, I'm expecting a victory tomorrow. The Big Ten championship is December 2nd. My birthday December 3rd. I'm I'm always in the building for those games. I've been a couple of them already for the Buckeyes, and I'm ready to get back to Indianapolis and root my Buckeyes on for my birthday weekend. And this would be everything, man. As a Buckeye fan, this would be monumental. Monumental. I'm sorry, I don't think that's the word. I'm mispronouncing it, but I'm sorry about that. I'm so excited for this game. So stoked. And excuse me. And I'm just ready, man. I'm ready for the Buckeyes to shock the world. Um, I think my player to watch tomorrow, and I mean, I believe I think Trayvion's gonna have a big day, man. I do. I think it's gonna be the trade show. I think Marv's gonna be special. Um, but I think our defense is gonna show up, man. I think our secondary is gonna get some hands on some balls in the second half, and I think we're gonna take one to the house late in the fourth to ice the game. I'm predicting 27, 20 through 20, 27, 21. I think that's gonna be the score. Buckeyes shocking the world. I really do. 27-21. Um, and yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it. But hey, this is it, man. Hopefully my recap is filled with joy. Buckeye Nation tomorrow's filled with joy. Columbus is rocking. And hey, we'll be back. Buckeyes, no matter what happens, man. Never falter, never fail. My Buckeyes will always remain number one, man. Nobody can quite do it like us. I've always preached that. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's the night before the game, man. Hey, go Bucks.